Interesting. Now I was kind of hoping there wasn't going to be any big stones in this section of floor I've got to dig out. Whew, this could be hard work. Now I had previously hit some stone in this section underneath the clay, but it didn't matter too much over here because the floor level needed to be high, so I didn't have to touch the stone too much. But this has got to come down probably about 12 inches, 30 centimetres, so it really is important that there isn't any bedrock stone in here, otherwise yeah, it's going to be a real challenge. But I'm confident it might just be a few odd stones put into the clay. But there is only one way to find out, and that's to get set up, get started and dig it out. And that's what I'm going to do. Let's go. Fingers crossed. Now some of the clay spoil that's coming out of the cottage, I'm going to build a kind of raised walkway through here. Now I'm still mulling a few ideas over in my head. Now we get a lot of rainwater off all the roofs and it congregates down into this section, mainly into the pond, but this is sort of like an overflow. So I was thinking maybe a raised pathway through the centre and then either side like a bog garden. Now I've always had this area kind of earmarked for that, so although I do need some of this round the back to go up against the retaining wall, it's quite a walk and I've got quite a lot to dig out, so yeah, this will kill two birds with one stone as well and create a lovely environment here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with all the spoils. I don't need too much here actually. We'll talk about this a little bit later when I progress further into this area, but yeah, that's why it's going down here. But we're going to need a bit more, so let's get digging. And yes, it's finally stopped raining, the sun's come out. Now I find it very helpful when you're digging down to a set level that you dig one trench down, level that off, and then one down that side so you've got a reference point. And then dig down and then work your way across from this side. Now I like to use the edge like that, kind of keeps it flat. What you don't want to do is kind of dig loads of craters in it, so with the Kango breaker I normally come in at an angle as well, down to a set depth. You can mark it on here, but I normally do it by eye, go in all the way around. And then that way you know, you're left with a more even and undisturbed foundation. Because once you come to put your flooring down, which we'll go into in a little while, it's more solid, you know, it isn't disturbed, so only dig down the necessary amount that you need to take out. Okay, we are rapidly approaching the big rocks. So far on this, so good. We'll get some levels in a moment. We'll just continue working our way back. Real. Okay. It's only a rough guide at the moment. So yeah, we're quite low, a little bit high there. Yep. Real. And then with your pickaxe, if you use that edge and kind of pull it towards you, you kind of break off the top inch or so, and then so you keep the ground nice and level. That one's more for digging down. It always amazes me how many different tools there are for doing the same job in different countries and continents. Me personally, I've found that the long length on these shovels really suit me because I don't have to bend down so much. The English ones are much shorter, different shape, but I particularly like that edge, sort of cutting across. And then the slightly pointed end to break into it. That depends on what you're doing. I also find a rake very useful. It's again teeth for sort of moving the majority of the material, and once you get somewhere down you can use flat side to level off a bit more. Okay, the most important tool for this sort of job is this. Is actually the chair. It's one of the most important things. Place yourself on a job like this, you get more done that way. Sit back, have a look, work out the best method to do it. A couple of minutes of thinking can save you quite a few minutes of hard work if you do it wrong. Let's get to them stones. hit quite a bit of stone over that side. That was bedrock. But this, fingers crossed, at first glance, doesn't look like it. It looks like round pieces, individual pieces. That was all stuck together and had to be smashed apart. But, okay, so far so good. Right, there's a few big ones there. We'll have a nibble around here with a Kango, take some more levels. Carry on digging. Speak too soon. Don't mind big stones, as long as they're not part of the bedrock, because then I've got to smash them apart. Yep, that's a big old stone. Isn't this ironic? Oh, no more than half a metre away from the step. I was searching outside everywhere for stone, and this would have done me perfect. But not to worry, I will put it to good use somewhere. And you never know what you're going to find when you start digging. Free building material, every little helps. It's not just about the cost, is it? It's about keeping it authentic, using what's here. The colour of the stone's right, so brilliant. This is as much about a restoration as a renovation, you know. Most people renovate, they put all new stuff in, fair enough, some people want that, but I'm trying to restore this place, you know, try to keep it as close to original. I mean, obviously you have to adapt different building codes and methods for the modern day living, you know. We don't live in so much drafty houses as we used to in the past, which once you seal them up creates other issues. So yeah. Right, let's get this out. Now this might be massive, it might just be tiny. You don't know until you get it out. So let's get this one out the ground. Oh. I just wonder why some of these stones were in the clay soil. No real reason for it, unless it was what was already here. It's still very hard to fathom out. Oh, them steps look very inviting. Yeah. Used to this. Yeah, I mean, so years ago when they created these earthen floors, sometimes they'd mix it with ox blood, believe it or not. It's quite an old and ancient way of doing it, but it'd get trodden in. Sometimes they'd pour liquid clay down, mash it all up, step it in, invite people around. This is in England, I'm not so sure about the French way of doing things. And they'd all tread it in, all the ox blood, and then sometimes they'd seal the surface afterwards with like a linseed or some other breathable substance like that. Basically the earth floor allows the building to breathe and moisture evaporate out. It's the same with lime as well. When you use lime, it allows the moisture to evaporate out if it gets wet. As soon as you start putting concrete and cementing products, it doesn't breathe so well and causes problems, holds moisture in. So yeah, I mean, we've got to put down a membrane here because the earth is so high at the back and there is moisture ingress, you know. It's very hard to insulate an old building like this and still have it breathe in, and you know, it comes a lot of complications. So when you start putting double glazing in and not having any drafts, then that creates a problem with drying out the moisture. So yeah, it's a tricky balance, but you can find a line between the two, which I'm trying to find, trying to keep everything as authentic as possible. Yeah, we've took out quite a bit, you know. Like I say, hit a seam of rock over there. The majority of it was clay. Now I've just started to hit some rock here, but they're loose, so yeah, just trying to figure out why they actually put, if they did at all, rock in it. So I didn't have to use so much clay maybe. Right, let's get digging. Rock, rock. Another big rock there. A good foundation. That one's sticking a bit. Stone for me steps are right in front of me. Yeah, not exactly the right shape. Let's get the other one out. It's been in the ground some time. Put some limecrete in here. Stone. Probably incorporate these maybe in the step going up into the raised level in the kitchen. Yeah. So they won't have to move too far. Just get them out of the way before I trip over them. Oh no, it's pouring down once again. So unpredictable. Well, almost predictable really, as it changes so quick. Okay, now we've got the area dug out, enough for me to lay some tiles down. Now I've got a bit of a dilemma here. With this quarter being in the entrance, I've got two choices of tile to use. One's ceramic and the other one is terracotta. Now, I'm not sure what would work best here. So I think what I'll do, I'll have a little scrape back here while it's raining, get some tiles in, put them side by side and have a look before I make that decision. Yeah, can't get over that weather. Anyway, there's plenty to do, so let's go and get some tiles, clear this area, lay them down and see what it looks like. Okay, we've got a rough base there to lay out our tiles. Let's see what they look like against lovely granite steps. Maybe need a bit of cleaning up. Okay, let's get a bit of water, I think. It's better, quick wash off. I think I'm going to lay them in that random staggered pattern. I've seen lots of old properties with them laid out like that, so that's what they look like. Not 100% sure on these. I may still use them in here, whether or not it will be in this whole area, I'm not quite sure. They're very hard wearing, very easy to clean, so that's a possibility for this area. High traffic coming through the door, we'll need to keep these clean. So that's one option. Now this is my next option. Thick, ancient terracotta. What do you think? I think they will probably look better. Again, they've got to be cleaned up. And again, I think I'd probably lay them in that staggered pattern. As opposed to the square pattern. Now when you're laying these old ancient sizes, when you lay them square like this, you don't get so much tolerance. Yep, you can have a bigger gap between the pointing, the joints. When they start going random, yeah, it's much more forgiving when you lay them in that sort of pattern. There's more tolerance. I suppose it's only fair that I put some water on these really, so we can see the natural beauty and colour. This is what they look like once they've had a bit of water put on them. They're very porous. That is an advantage with terracotta, that they do breathe, or clay tiles. Not that it matters too much in this application because we've got a membrane down, but if you didn't, 100% go for the terracotta. Now the other issue I've got is lots of these are broken and I'm not sure of the quantity that I've got. I might just get this area done in this. What do you think? What would you go for? It's tricky, isn't it? Yes, they will require quite some cleaning up, some wire brushing. I don't mind that. It's the end result that I'm more interested in. I think I've kind of made my mind up. These are quite a bit thicker. They're going to require a lot more work. So what do I pick? This one or this one? I think they'd both be okay, to be honest with you. One's a little bit thinner. Might gain me a little bit extra sort of height with the door openings. But yeah, there's no way around it. These are the best. Now it may be that if I do run out of these, I may be able to source some more. I might also have a proper measure up once I've decided what I'm going to do. And then round the outside, maybe break the pattern up. If I go with the terracotta and use some encaustic tiles like the colourful ones that you see in churches around the outside. Now I've got some of those that are going around the fireplace. It's whether or not I break up, that might be a good idea actually, break up the different levels. They will be intersected with some nice big pieces of oak, so you can clearly see it's going to be a step, but maybe on each side of that I can put a perimeter of maybe encaustic tiles. That way I'll probably have enough tiles to do what I need to do in the terracotta. And I think I know somewhere where I can purchase some encaustic, colourful tiles. Geometric, kind of gothic style, which I like. Now these are the kind of tiles that I'm thinking about edging it with. Maybe a different size, not quite sure yet. These ones are going around the fireplace. yeah, really getting a sense of how it's going to feel now once you start putting these elements in. I mean, for a long time I've been digging dirt, muck, bullets and all stuff like that, but yeah, we're just getting over that now. Now we can start seeing what it's going to be like. Okay, that is it for this video. I'm going to carry on digging once it's stopped, and I'll see you in the next one.